Hi, I'm Mark with At My Home, and today we're going to review the HomeSeer HS-WX300 wall switch. Now, HomeSeer sent us this for the review, and this switch is pretty neat because it's a Z-Wave switch. Actually, it's a Z-Wave 700 chipset inside, which means it's the latest generation. And it's a paddle control. It can be either a dimmer or on-off. You have to actually select that when you install. And it actually comes with, like 7 LED lights that come on. It's like a status light, and we'll explain that in a minute. But basically, that's it. That's the HS-WX300. Now, it does work in a single pole environment, which means if you have just one light or a light with one switch controlling it, but it also works in a three-way configuration. And in that case, you have to have their companion switch, the HS-WA100 Plus companion switch, or a regular three-way switch installed is the second switch. So works in all those kind of cases, which is really nice. So let's see what's in the box. Okay, there's a set of instructions and nothing else because I've already installed it. Now, the instructions are really important here because the switch comes default as a dimmer, but you can also switch it to be an on-off, and it tells you how to do that. You do that before you install it. The other thing it gives you is instructions how to install it in either a two-way or a three-way circuit, and two-way being the single pole. And by the way, you don't have to have the neutral wire. So if you have a situation where your older home don't have a neutral wire, you can still use this switch. Now, of course, I recommend if you do have a neutral wire in the box, definitely put the neutral wire on it. If it's a three-way configuration, as I mentioned before, you do need the companion switch. So when I installed this on the HomeSeer hub, basically I just used their Z-Wave inclusion, right? There's a function under there that says Z-Wave, include the switch. And you just follow through on that inclusion and it finds that switch and adds all that functionality to your HomeSeer hub. Now, if you have a different hub, you should still be able to include this in here, but you might not have all the functionality that this light provides, depending on which hub you use. But you definitely have to have a Z-Wave hub. The other thing I want to tell you about is the lights. So all these lights here are programmable, so I can actually take and make them into different colors. So I installed the switch, and I said, okay, what can I do with this thing? Well, first of all, it's a situation where we have an attic. It's right behind me, and I always go in there, I turn the light on, and I leave the attic, and I forget to turn the light switch off. So one of the things I was able to do is program one of these lights here to show it blinking green when the light's on, and then if the light turns off, I have another event that turns the light blue to tell me the switch is off. So that's pretty cool. I also have the ability to light other lights for different functions. So for example, in our case, we have these things called roomie, which are presence sensors in the room. And so if Valerie happens to be in her office, I have a light here at the bottom that will turn blinking green when she's in her office, and when she's not in her office or has left her office, it'll turn blue. You ask, well, why did I do that? Well, a lot of times I want to call her on Alexa and say, hey, what's going on? But we have to communicate about something we're doing. I can know that she's actually in her office, so I don't waste my time trying to find out which Alexa she's at. It does operate as a dimmer. When I do press the top of the switch, even if these are in color, they'll change to blue, and you'll see the increase in intensity on the light, because that's what you're trying to find out. And if you press it to the bottom, it'll do the same thing. You'll see the lights coming down. And then once it's done the dimming, it will turn the lights back to the colors you had them on there. There's other functions here, which is on the top, if you press it 2 times or 3 times or 4 times or 5 times, each one of those events can be set to be an event for something, to trigger something. So you'll actually get that in your hub. You'll find out that it was a double press or a triple press. Same thing for the bottom. Same things, 2, 3, 4, or 5 presses will let you do a different function. And that is really nice because, as I mentioned, the attic light gets left on. Well, now instead of having to get up and go to the attic, I can just come here and I can just double press the bottom. I think I have it a double press on the bottom of the switch, and it will turn off the light. And of course, I'll know it worked because the light will go blue that I have set up for the attic light. So that's it. That's the HS-WX300 switch from HomeSeer, and it can be either configured as a dimmer or an on-off switch. And I have to tell you, I really like it, especially because it has these status lights. So if you're looking for a nice switch, this is definitely one of them. Thank you for watching.